Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is where we take those fascinating sources you send us and, well, we plunge right in and we pull out those nuggets of knowledge so you get informed fast. Today, it's a bit different, kind of special. We're digging into a story, a narrative one of you shared called the Pier Foray. It's quite the tale. And our mission, it's not just to enjoy this story, which is frankly a lot of fun. It's also about unlocking the vocabulary, the really specific words that make it so vivid. Think of it as a shortcut to understanding both the story and the language.
That's exactly right. And what's so powerful about learning words this way, through a story, is that the narrative gives them context, real context. You're not just memorizing a definition from a list. The word gets linked to feelings, to actions, to specific moments in the story. Your brain actually holds onto it better. You understand the nuances, the sort of flavor of the word. And crucially, you can actually start using it yourself more accurately. It makes language a tool, not just a list of facts.
I love that word, says tools. Okay, let's get this story rolling then. The Pier Foray. Starts at the edge of Seaforth Pier. We meet our heroes, Scarlett and Rocky, a canine duo. And right away, you feel Rocky's energy, don't you? His tail isn't just wagging. It's described as swishing with quiet anticipation. That word, anticipation, it sets a mood immediately, right? Even before the real action starts.
Oh, absolutely. It's not just excitement. It's a focused eagerness. Like he knows something is about to happen, something he's prepared for. It tells you this isn't just a random walk for him. There's intent there.
And what an intent. Rocky apparently saw this whole thing as more than just a stroll. It was a mission. He called it a foray into forbidden territory, the fish markets after hours, dramatic. And they had a very specific target, smoked mackerel. Rocky seemed to believe this fish was powerful stuff, potent enough to make even a repressed appetite roar back to life. Now, that's quite something for a dog to believe, isn't it? That a fish could overcome something like a repressed appetite.
It really shows his conviction, yeah. And that word you picked up on, repressed, it's interesting. It doesn't just mean the appetite is gone. It suggests it's being actively held back, pushed down. Maybe by sadness, maybe lack of interest, who knows? So the mackerel isn't just food, it's like a key. Something so tempting it can break through that barrier, that suppression, and wake up a basic need. The story really brings that idea of active holding back to life, much more than just saying he wasn't hungry.
So, okay, a grand vision needs a grand plan, right? This wasn't just a spur-of-the-moment thing.
Definitely not. It was calculated. They moved, the story says, assiduously, which paints a picture of intense care, real effort, staying low, using the crates for cover. It wasn't just sneaking, it was sneaking with total focus. And Rocky, he had apparently predetermined their whole route, every step, weaving through the shadows almost like a ruminator.
A ruminator, that's serious, like deep thinking.
It is deep thinking. A ruminator isn't just thinking casually. They're turning something over and over in their mind, like really analyzing it from all angles, like a cow chewing cud. It's that kind of persistent, methodical thought. So Rocky had clearly obsessed over this plan, refined it. This was serious strategy.
Wow. But Scarlett was key too, wasn't she? Seems like she handled the quick thinking.
Oh, absolutely. Rocky had the big plan, but Scarlett had the on-the-fly smarts. There's a moment where she pauses, turns inward, it says. Like she took a split second for this internal calculation, a quick mental check. That word inward really captures that private moment of assessment, doesn't it? And it worked. She's the one who spots the target stall, the burlap sack that seems promising. Her quick thinking was vital.
Okay, so plan in motion, target spotted. But then, the twist. The challenge. Just as they get close, this burly dockhand shows up. And the description is interesting. He seemed marginalized during the day, like overlooked in the normal busyness of the pier. But now, he's guarding the night's goods. And Scarlett, what does she do? She brooded for a heartbeat. Just a moment of intense thought.
Yeah, that dockhand changes everything, doesn't he? And marginalized. That's a really specific word choice. It's not just ignored. It suggests he's usually pushed to the edges, not seen as important in the main pier activity. So him being the guardian now gives him this unexpected power, contrasting with his usual status. It adds a layer, I think.
And her reaction, she brooded. Sometimes that word sounds negative, like worrying too much.
Yeah.
But here.
That's a great point. It can mean gloomy thinking, sure, but the core is just deep, serious thought. Given the situation, her brooding was probably intense problem-solving. Fast, focused strategy, not despair. Context really shapes how we feel that word, doesn't it? And right after that intense moment, she gets it, the solution. She attributed a new role to Rocky. Brilliant. Distraction.
Attribute. So, she assigned it to him, saw he was the one for the job.
Exactly. When you attribute something, you're assigning it, often based on a quality or cause. Scarlett recognized Rocky was the right dog for the specific task. She saw his potential for causing a diversion. It was a calculated delegation. And Rocky, well, he stepped up, trotted out, feigning a limp, a total performance.
Feigning, pretending. That's genius. Pure acting.
Absolutely. To feign is to put on a false appearance, to pretend. And he nailed it. So convincing that the dockhand leans down, concerned, and boom, that's Scarlett's opening. It really shows their teamwork. And, maybe Rocky's had some past scrapes, the story hints at it, but his confidence here, his planning, it shows real character, resilience. It tells you a lot about their partnership.
Incredible teamwork. Okay, so the coast is clear for a second.
Exactly. Scarlett doesn't waste it, darts in, grabs the sack, and the story says the weight felt almost inequitable for her size.
Inequitable? That sounds like more than just heavy, like unfairly heavy.
Precisely. Inequitable means unfair, unjust. It stresses how the load was totally out of proportion for her. It makes her effort seem even greater, her determination more intense. It wasn't just a struggle, it was a struggle against something fundamentally unbalanced. But she keeps going, and as she drags it, the scent, well, the contents are divulged by the smell.
Divulged by the scent. Love that. The smell just gave it all away.
Made it known, didn't it? To divulge is to reveal something, often something hidden. Here, that strong mackerel smell instantly revealed the prize inside the sack. No more secrets. It was like the ultimate proof of success, even before they saw the fish.
Mission accomplished then. Smoked mackerel secured.
Totally. Rocky joins her. They haul it to the end of the pier. And the way they eat, it says they savored each bite like savages at a banquet.
Okay, that image. Savages. It's funny, but also really vivid. Stealthy thieves 1 minute, primal eaters the next.
It's great imagery, isn't it? Savages here isn't meant literally, of course. It's used humorously to show their complete, unrestrained joy, pure, primal enthusiasm for their reward, total surrender to the moment. Then Rocky, all proud, mutters, "Worth the furlong we ran."
A furlong? You don't hear that much these days. How far is that again?
It's about 220 yards, an eighth of a mile. Often used in horse racing. It gives their run a slightly epic, old-fashioned feel, doesn't it? Emphasizes the effort involved. And Scarlett, she gets the last word, the strategist. Indeed, another rendering in our growing legend. And then, poof, they vanish into the night. A new chapter written.
What a great little story, and just loaded with fantastic words, as you heard. They really do bring it all to life. So now let's do that deep dive. Let's unpack some of these words properly. Not just definitions, but how they work in the story. To make them stick, it's about seeing them in action, right?
Exactly. Understanding the word in its natural habitat, so to speak, makes all the difference.
Okay, let's go back to the very start. Rocky's feeling of apprehension, we touched on it, but what makes it different from just being, scared?
Good question. Apprehension is anxiety or fear about the future, yeah. But it often has this sense of unease, maybe even dread, about something specific coming up. Think about pre-exam jitters or nerves before a big meeting. It's not usually paralyzing terror. For Rocky, it suggests he knew the risks. There was a little uncertainty, which probably made him more focused, actually. It shows he wasn't naive about their foray, makes his bravery seem more, considered.
And the word foray itself, why foray and not just trip or adventure?
A foray often implies a quick, bold venture into somewhere new or maybe even dangerous territory, like a raid almost. It fits their mission perfectly, sneaking into the fish market after hours. It's forbidden territory for them. It carries a sense of daring, of a specific objective that Trip just doesn't have. It feels more strategic.
Okay, and Rocky thinking the mackerel could revive a repressed appetite. How is repressed different from, say, a lost appetite?
Repressed implies it's being actively held back or suppressed. It's not just gone, it's being kept down. Maybe by sadness or stress or something else internal. There's an underlying potential that's being restrained. So the mackerel needs to be strong enough to break through that act of holding back, to reawaken something hidden. It's about overcoming an internal block.
Got it. Now, how they moved assiduously. It sounds so careful, so diligent.
It really does. Assiduously means with great care and persistent effort. Diligently. Think of someone working tirelessly on a very detailed task. That's the feeling. It emphasizes their focus, their dedication to not being seen. It wasn't just careful, it was sustained, meticulous effort.
And Rocky's route being predetermined. That sounds very deliberate.
Extremely. Predetermined means it was decided in advance. Fixed. No room for change. It suggests Rocky had this locked-in vision, a set course. It speaks to a real commitment to this specific plan, leaving nothing to chance. Almost like a military operation planned to the T.
Which fits with him being a ruminator. You explain that well, the deep, repeated thought. Why is that image so effective?
It contrasts with quick thinking, right? Ruminating is slow, methodical, persistent, turning the plan over and over, like chewing cud, extracting every bit of value, considering every angle. It emphasizes the mental effort, the depth of his planning. He didn't just think about it once, he lived with it.
Then Scarlett turns inward. Such a simple word, but it describes something complex.
It does. Inward means directed towards oneself. It captures that split second where she mentally retreats, shuts out the world to access her own quick thinking, her intuition, a rapid internal assessment. It highlights that ability to find the answer within herself right when it's needed.
And the dockhand, being marginalized. Would overlooked have worked, or does marginalized add something else?
I think marginalized adds a layer. Overlooked could just be accidental. Marginalized suggests being actively pushed to the edges, treated as less important systematically. It sets up that contrast, usually on the fringe, now suddenly the central guardian. It hints at social dynamics on the pier, perhaps, makes him a bit more complex than just a guard.
Right. And Scarlett brooded. Let's nail this down. Is it always gloomy, or can it be productive thinking?
It can be gloomy, but fundamentally it means thinking deeply and seriously. In her urgent situation, it reads as intense, focused problem solving, strategizing under pressure. So yeah, context is everything. Here, it feels more like productive, serious concentration than wallowing.
Okay. Then she attributed the distraction role to Rocky. What's the force of attributed here?
To attribute is to assign something, like a quality or a cause, or in this case, a role. It implies she didn't just tell him what to do, she recognized he was the right one for the job. She assigned the role because of his likely ability to pull it off. It's a purposeful assignment based on perceived strengths.
Makes sense. The sack being inequitable for her. That really hits home her struggle, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely. Inequitable, unfair, unjust. It highlights the massive imbalance between the load and her size. It makes her effort seem heroic almost, fighting against unfair odds. It emphasizes the sheer willpower involved.
And the scent that divulged the contents. Why is divulged better than just revealed?
Divulged often implies revealing something secret or hidden. The scent acted like an informant, instantly giving away the hidden contents. It's like the secret couldn't be kept. The aroma itself unveiled it. An involuntary, undeniable confirmation of their success.
Then eating like savages. Visceral and funny. What does that add?
It adds that primal energy. Savages here emphasizes their wild, unrestrained, utterly uninhibited enjoyment. Total surrender to the deliciousness, no holding back. It's a fantastic contrast to their earlier stealth and control. Pure, raw satisfaction.
And the furlong, that old unit of distance.
Yeah, about 220 yards. Using furlong gives it a slightly more adventurous, almost grander feel than just saying yards or meters. It subtly elevates their run, emphasizes the distance covered for the prize, adds a touch of classic adventure.
And finally, Scarlett's line. Another rendering in our growing legend. Perfect ending.
It really is. A rendering is a portrayal, a depiction. She sees this caper as another episode, another story, added to their shared history, their legend. It elevates their actions, suggesting that everything they do contributes to this ongoing narrative of who they are. It gives their lives a sense of meaning and store.
Wow. Okay, so we've seen a great story and unpacked some really rich words. It's clear how linking vocabulary to narrative helps it stick, but also helps you understand the real feeling of the words. It's definitely a shortcut to getting a deeper grasp.
Absolutely. It makes language feel alive, not abstract. And maybe for you listening, here's something to think about. How could your own actions, even small ones, be seen as a rendering in your own growing legend? Like Scarlett and Rocky's foray, how might viewing your day-to-day, your challenges, your moments of turning inward as part of your unfolding story, change your anticipation for what comes next? Just a thought.
That's a great thought to leave with. Keep an eye out for those words and the stories around you. You'll find new layers of meaning everywhere. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We'll catch you next time.